شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back with our journey with the Quran. In this video, I want to talk about a verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 2. Allah in the Quran says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. Assist one another in righteousness and piety, and do not help each other in sin and aggression. And fear Allah, surely Allah is severe in His punishment for those who, of course, disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so, the criterion for a ummah is that they work together for a united and good achievement, which is that we seek to propagate and teach people what is good. Bir, which here is understood as piety and righteousness, and taqwa, that we remind people of Allah. Taqwa means to be aware of God. So in a society like ours, where God has somehow been moved to one side, Muslims will say, no, Allah and God is the center of everything that we do. Alal birri wa taqwa. And so for us, it's about how we come together to promote righteousness and virtue and good akhlaq in our societies as well. And this is really what differentiated Muslims from non-Muslims. At a basic level, human beings are born equal, everybody's equal. But by virtue of submitting to Allah and His Messenger, by becoming a Muslim and submitting to divine command, they are then differentiated. You see that this even crosses family lines. So you find in the life of the Prophet and the family of the Prophet that Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, who were from his family, by virtue of them being disbelievers, they were defined as the other. Whereas people like Bilal from Ethiopia or Suhaib from Rome or Byzantium was a believer. He was celebrated, or they were celebrated as believers, not because of their race, not because of their gender, but by virtue of their obedience to Allah. So Islam transcends racism, it transcends discrimination, sexism, all of these ills that are plaguing our society. In fact, we could even say that when it comes to basic aqidah, when it comes to basic theology, every person, man or woman, can receive Allah's mercy. There's no discrimination. There's no idea that the woman can only be forgiven or come close to God through her husband. No, a woman turns to Allah, she is the recipient of divine mercy. A man turns to Allah, he is the recipient of divine mercy. So there's no discrimination based on gender in our tradition. There should be no gender war. Hawa and Adam never fought. Right? They were complementary. Man and woman are complementary. They complement and they fulfill each other's obligations together. And this is very, very important. When we look at the life of Lut, for example, he was a great prophet, but his wife made the choice to disobey. It was nothing to do with her gender. It was to do with the moral choice that she made. Right? And you look at the example of, for example, the wife of Pharaoh. She was a woman, but her husband was a tyrannical person, a male person. But it wasn't to do with her gender or his gender. It was to do with the fact that she made a choice to believe in Allah. And so she was given, as the supplication is mentioned in the Quran, رَبِّ ابْنِ لِي عِنْدَكَ بَيْتًا فِي الْجَنَّةِ وَنَجِّنِي مِنْ فِرْعَوْنَ وَعَمَلِهِ وَنَجِّنِي مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. That she asked Allah when he was about to kill her for believing, that Allah gave me a house in paradise with you. So what unites us, what brings us together, is our awareness, our obedience to Allah and His Prophet, peace be upon him. This is what unites the ummah. Everything else is secondary. Everything else is not as important as what unites us. And this is very, very important, because in our societies where we have people coming to our mosques, our communities from diverse backgrounds, we should understand that what really matters is their belief in Allah. That's the real criterion which is important. So I really wanted to use this video as an opportunity to remind ourselves that our religion is very rich. It has lots of diversity. One only needs to go for Hajj and see people of all different stripes and colors all united in their tawajjuh, in their obedience, in their gaze towards their Creator. And this is something that's singularly unique in Islam, that we are able to, within our religion, welcome people of all types into our faith, as long as they submit to divine revelation, they submit to the teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him. That comes first in the idea that that's the priority above all else. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to focus on really seeing past our differences and seeing the beauty and the diversity in Allah's creation. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.